सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। हरिः ओं श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओं. We are in chapter 16 and we have come up to 14th sloka. Sloka number 7th onwards, Paramatma started talking about Asri Sampat, which we have to know as an obstacle to spiritual growth. One should clearly understand these are the traits which we should avoid. You should not get confused. Earlier we have said Daivi Sampat, which are to be imbibed, which are to be followed, and Asuri Sampat we have to avoid. This clarity you must have. So we should strive to avoid these traits. And Asuri Sampat includes Rakshasi Sampat also. Asuri Sampat means Raga Pradana life. A life which is Raga or attachment dominant. The attachment is predominant in the Asuri Sampat. Attachment is more dominant in Asuri Sampat. And it is Rajasic in nature. And Rakshasi Sampat is Dvesha Pradana. And it is Tamasic in nature. Raga Pradana life, one is utterly selfish. A Dvesha Pradana life, a person is harmful to other people. Only difference is when I am selfish, I do not directly and immediately harm the people. But in the long run, a selfish person affects the society because he takes more and gives less to the society. Therefore, this behavior will create a disharmony in the society in due course. It will create an imbalance in the society. And also, it will be a problem for the person himself in the long run. He will not get help from the society. But this disturbance is not immediately felt. It is gradually poisoning the society and the person himself mentally. Thus, a Raga Pradana person hurts the society very gradually, whereas a Dvesha Pradana person hurts the society immediately, directly. Both of them harm the harmony of the society. Both of them harm themselves ultimately. And here, Paramatma is describing both Asuri people as well as Rakshasic people are to be included whenever he says Asuri Sampat. And we generally call them as the materialistic people, Ardha Kama Pradana people, who do not value Dharma and Moksha. And we should remember, when we criticize the materialistic people, we are not against materialism at all. The criticism of materialism must be carefully understood. We are not against materials because we need them for our survival. We require money for food, money for shelter, money for clothing. So we are not against money and material. We do not want to hate them. But we are criticizing because of the overemphasis of Ardhakama to such an extent they ignore Dharma and Moksha. That is all. Therefore, if you are not careful from attachment to money, we may go to the extreme, the other extreme of hatred of money. If attachment to money is an evil, hatred of money is also an evil. And that is why our culture, money is seen as Lakshmi Devi. We respect money. Even a sannyasi need to respect money, because money alone fetches the food he eats. The money alone fetches the dress he wears. And if he has an ashram, he need money. So nobody should hate money. Therefore, if the attachment is an evil, hatred is also equally an evil. Balanced attitude towards money is what we are recommending. What is balanced attitude? Use money for spiritual growth. Earn wealth and use it for spiritual growth of yourself as well as for the other people. And these materialistic people do not have this balanced vision. Therefore, they are obsessed with materialistic thinking. They do not understand that behind the matter, there is a spirit. Behind the body, there is Atma. Respect the body, respect the Atma also. This is the balanced approach which Asuric people are missing, which Rakshasic people are missing. Therefore, Paramatma is describing their thought pattern, what occupies their mind most of the time. They are obsessed with what type of thinking most of the time. The scriptures point out, start the day with a thought of Lord. As I said, think of Lakshmi, but have some time to think of Narayana also. How can you be so selective, concentrating on Lakshmi alone and miss Narayana? These people do not have balance. Therefore, what happens? We are seeing from verse 13, we are seeing from Sloka 13, the pattern of their thinking. All the time, they are calculative, what all things they have acquired in life and what all things they plan to acquire. This is their life. They are interested in only wealth. If anybody object to this, they consider them as their competitors, as their rivals. They have no scruples at all. They want to even finish off all those obstacles without any compunction, without any compassion. So, aso maya hatas satruhu, within quotation. This is the thought pattern of the materialistic people. Aso satruhu maya hataha. This rival has been finished, liquidated, exterminated. Hanishyecha aparannapi. And others also I will finish soon. So, this is the mindset of these people. I have the monopoly in everything. Just as big companies swallow small companies, they say in globalization, at the end, there will be only few international giants. And they can adjust the market itself in such a way, because they can afford that all these small people will be swallowed and they will be so powerful that they can even change the government. These are the materialistic people. They become very powerful. They are the lords. So they think that I am the powerful person. I alone enjoy the power and money. Aham Siddhaha, the most successful person. Aham Balavan, the strongest. I am Sukhi. Aham Sukhi. I am given to all types of enjoyment. Like this, we have description. So we will continue now. Adyo vijanavan asmi konyosti sadruso maya yakshe dasya vimodishya ityajnana vimohitah. Asmi, I am. Adyaha means rich. Abhijanavan, I am from a noble family. My birth is from noble family. Kaha anyaha asti, who else is there? Sadrusa maya, equal to me. Etshye, I shall perform ajnas. Dasyami, I shall give charity. Modishye, I shall rejoice. Iti, thus, Ajnana Vimohitaha, who are completely deluded by ignorance. And I am rich and I have noble birth. Who else is there equal to me? I shall perform yajnas. I shall give charity. I shall rejoice. Thus these people are completely deluded by ignorance. The quotation continues. These are the thoughts of materialistic people. Aham adyaha asmi. I am the richest person. My name occurs in Forbes magazine list. In that magazine, my name comes as one of the 20 richest people in the world. How many heads have rolled in my journey? I cannot say. Bhagavan only knows. How many illegal things I did? God only knows. Abhijanavan asmi. And also, I belong to a noble family. I have a noble birth. So therefore, he thinks great about his lineage, his father, his grandfather, and so on. He will say, one is Ganapati, another is Jatavallabha, another is Somayaji, like that. He will name all those people. And you ask him, what do you do? Gayatri is even doubtful. So he only talks about the parampara strongly. Abhivadaye is forgotten. That is, this word Abhivadaye is used in telling pravara. So he cannot tell pravara in Sanskrit. He only talks about the great parampara. He has not done anything to preserve this wonderful culture. What a culture which has started from millennia before. All of them have been surrendered at the altar of money hunt. Utkhatam nidhisankaya chititalam mata giredhatavo nistirna saritam patirnupatayo yatnena santoshitaha mantraradhana tatparena manasa nita smasane nishaha prapta kana varatakopi namaya trushne sakama bhava. The earth I have dug into in quest of precious materials, minerals and metals. From rock I have smelted. The ocean I have crossed. And the favors of kings I have diligently sought. The nights I have spent on burning grounds with my mind occupied with mantras and worship. Bhartruhari in his Vairagya Satakam looks back, O Lord, in search of money, what all I did. I dug all the part of the earth, hoping to get some wealth from the ground. Utkatam nidhisankaya chititalam mata giredhavata. I went in search of all types of ores to extract metals, gold, silver and diamond, etc. I went in search of nistirna saritam patirnupatayo yatnena santoshitaha. I went all round the globe in search of wealth, and for this travel I have to please so many bureaucrats, politicians and councils of all types of people. I did not propitiate the devatas and gods. I propitiated all these arrogant human beings. Pradakshana, namaskara, dakshana, and take them to hotels and gave them all kinds of treats. What all should not have been eaten, I ate. And all for the purpose of business promotion. Mantraradhana tatparena manasa nita smasane nishaha. I went even to the black money people to destroy my enemies. I eaten everything which I am not supposed to eat. At least I am happy now at the fag end of the life. I have not improved anything at all, only losing the culture and tradition. So, this is what Bhartrhari says about these kind of people. Here, Paramatma says, Abhi Janavan Asmi. I belong to a wonderful family, but I did not make use of this advantage that I had. I took Manushya Janma upon this wonderful land. I squandered this advantage. Rival won and I lost the match and cup. What is the cup? Moksha cup. I lost. Bhartrhari says, Abhijanavan asmi. He claims but does not make use of the advantage. Kaha anyaha asti sadrusha maya. He asks everyone, who is there in the world equal to me? Indicating the highest arrogance. In our tradition, everyone was embodiment of humility. And here we find the embodiment of arrogance. He asks, who is equal to me? Yakshe, even though he does not believe in God and religion, he does not believe in scriptural study or puja, but still he wants to conduct certain rituals. Not for the inner growth, but for the publicity. Therefore, he says, I will use rituals and make sure that it is captured in photos, videos, so that my name will spread. Even puja is done only to pump his arrogance. Yakshe means yagam. Yagam karishye. I shall do big pujas just to show off. Dasyami, I will give charity. But I will make sure that my name appears in newspapers. If nothing else, at least I will make this a big propaganda. Vimohitaha. Thus, these people are utterly deluded and confused. They do know they are digging their spiritual grave. They do not know what is good and what is bad. They are suffering. In fact, Lord is very much angry with those people and only feels pity for them. And Lord has provided methods of avoiding these traps. We have got Mahatmas to guide us. We have got scriptures to guide us from these traps. But the problem is only guiding factor. He does not make use of these provisions. His arrogance does not allow him to go to Mahatma. His arrogance will not allow him to read Gita. Therefore, he is totally lost. Ajnana vimohitaha, deluded utterly by arrogance. This is what in Mundaka Upanishad we have got that avidyayam antare vartamanaha swayam dhira panditam manyamanaha janganyamana paryanti moodaha andhe naivaniyamana yadanda. So these people, they think that they know everything, though they are ignorant. They talk, we know everything. It is like a blind person leading another blind person. This is their state of affairs. Aneka chitta vibhrantaha mohajala samavrutaha prasakta kama bhogeshu patanti narakesu chau. Aneka chitta vibhranta, thoroughly confused by innumerable fancies. Mohajala samavrutaha, encircled by net of delusions. Prasaktaha, and deeply engaged. Kama bhogeshu, in the enjoyment of sense object. Patanti, they fall. Asuchau, narake, into foul hell, into a horrible hell. Thoroughly confused by such innumerable fancies, encircled by the net of delusion and deeply engaged in the enjoyment of sense objects, they fall into the horrible hell. Aneka chitta vibranta, lost in, carried away by the above mentioned thought pattern. Chittam means thinking pattern. Aneka means varieties. And what are those patterns? Given in the previous Slokas 13, 14 and 15, in these thought patterns, they are immersed. Our Shastra says at least half a second you spend in the lotus feet of God. Can you think of Lord for a half minute? It is not possible for him. But this person does not have even half a minute. So vibranta, so lost in mohajala samavrutaha. They are encircled by a network of moha, delusion or misconception. The misconception being that money and possessions will give the ultimate goal, will give the ultimate security, will give everything that I want. As we have set of beautiful sayings, they say money can buy a house, but it cannot buy a home. Money can buy bed, but money cannot buy sleep. Money can buy people, money cannot buy love. So in fact, money can buy many things, but all important things in the life, like peace, like knowledge, like love, all these things money cannot buy. But these people do not understand. That is what is called moha. So moha jala samavrutaha, prasaktaha, kama bhogeshu. A materialistic society will use all its resources only to improve methods of entertainment. That is the inclination of the materialistic society. Whether there is a material resources or scientific advancement, all of them will be used to improve what? Sense pleasures improvement. And they think that is the growth of the society. On the contrary, you can find in India, any scientific improvement comes, first it will be used in religious field. In TV, Ramayana and Mahabharata serials. All Swamis will start appearing in TVs. And that is our culture. Any scientific advancement, we will imagine, we think of using it for spiritual purpose. That is called a healthy society. A materialistic society will think of improving sense pleasures. And these materialistic people, prasaktaha, lost in entertainment, kama bhogeshu, in the enjoyment of sense pleasures. Kama means sense objects. Bhoga means enjoyment. Kama bhoga means enjoyment of sense objects. Prasaktaha, they are lost in spirituality, in spiritual upliftment. Even medical advancement, they want to use the body younger and younger, so that again that body can be used for what? Not for spiritual sadhana. How can one be young at 90th year? Again, for what? I can use my sense organs for sensory pleasures. Even medical advancement is directed towards that. That is the typical materialistic society. Therefore, prasaktaha kamabhogeshu. What will happen to them? Paramatma gets so wild. So he says, narake patanti. Animals are also living beings which have got two purusharthas only, artha and kama. After all, animals work for their security. Animals work for their enjoyment. Animals do not know what is dharma, Animals do not know what is moksha. Animals do not require Veda Purva. Animals do not require Veda Anta. Catch a buffalo and say, Satyam vada dharman chara swadhyaya pravachanapyam na pramaditavyam. If you say all these things, it will just, turn the head and go. It does not have the four pursuits. It has only two, Ardha and Kama. If I am going to dedicate my life at the altar of Ardha and Kama, I am telling the Lord that I am as good as the animal. Therefore, Bhagavan notes in his diary that he has committed a mistake by giving me human birth to this jiva. Therefore, he will correct the mistake. How? Make him an animal. So that no guilt or regret or anything, he need not study Veda, need not follow Dharma, and so on. No prayer is required. So, he will see that he gets an animal janma in the next janma. So, we will proceed to sloka number 17. Atma sambhavita stabdaha dhanabanadamanvitaha yajante nama yajnaiste dambena vidhipurvakam. Atma sambhavitaha, honored by themselves. Stabdaha, arrogant. Dhanamana madanvitaha, and full of variety of haughtiness due to wealth. Dambena yajante, they pretentiously worship. Nama yajnaihi, through normal yajnas, avidhipurvakam, disregarding the scriptural rules, honored by themselves, arrogant and full of vanity, haughtiness due to wealth, they pretentiously worship through normal yajnas, disregarding the scriptural rules. When our Dharmasastra talks about the dharmic way of life, it is the way of life in which I maintain harmony at all levels. It starts with internal harmony. Harmony between my thought, word and deed is an internal harmony. Even my eating, sleeping, etc. should have a harmony. If you remember, 6th chapter, Paramatma advised, Yuktahara viharasya, yukta chestasya karmasu, yukta swapnavabodhasya, yogo bhavati dukkhaha. So, even among the various organs of the body, there should be harmony. It starts with internal harmony. Then I lead a life in which there is a harmony in the family. Among the various members, there should be harmony. There is no stress, no strain, no tension. I am not uncomfortable. I should feel at home. That is why it is called a home. Interaction should be smooth, well oiled. There should not be any friction. Imagine there is a window which is not well oiled. It makes a sound each time it is opened because of the friction. When you put oil, the sound will not come. Similarly, when in human interaction, if there is no harmony, what happens? There will be unwanted sounds, fightings. The only interaction is fighting. And similarly, I should have harmony in the society. Therefore, the social customs, the social manners, politeness, etiquettes, all of them are part of the Dharma. Dharma is not merely religious activity, but even social interactions must be in keeping with harmony. And therefore, every refined, criticized society has its own manners, customs, and all indicating what? my refined conduct and behavior. Expressed in my body language, we have got rules. When they talk about the etiquettes, manners, nowadays, big things they talk about the body language. The way you stand, the way you sit, the way you talk, the way you eat, because the body language communicates something. Therefore, in our culture, they say we have children brought up by elders. When some Mahatma comes, our parents will say, sit properly. How you hold your hands? Hold your hands. Bend your head, your legs, and prostrate to Mahatma. Like this, they used to train children. These are all body languages which should convey respect, love, humility. And not only body language should convey my refinement, even my words should convey my refinement. That in a group I do not dominate by talking all the time. You will find that in any group, there would be one who would never allow others to speak. And if I start something interrupting, talking so loud, talking so aloud that you can hear a kilometer away, all those things also disturbs the harmony of setup. Open contradiction, telling a person is wrong in front of others, and all these things also come under behavior. Krishna says, when a materialistic person grows with money and power, chances are he becomes more and more puffed up with power and pride. He becomes more and more arrogant. So his behavior is totally erratic. His language is totally, arrogant. He doesn't know humility. So unfortunately, when a person becomes very wealthy, there will be always a coterie of sycophants around him. They want to take the advantage of his power and money. Therefore, they will come and they will glorify him. And they say, you're great, you're wonderful. And they do all kinds of archana to him. And that makes him arrogant. Yasyasti vittam saha naraha kulinaha. Saha panditaha saha srutavan gunajnaha saha eva vakta sacha darsaniyaha sarve gunaha kanchana masrayante. It is a very often quoted sloka. Once you have got money and power, everybody would come and say that you are beautiful, you are cultured, your language is wonderful, you are educated. They will do namaskara. Already you are arrogant, and these people, they are, glorifying. So ego gets bloated. First humility goes, and then devotion to God disappears. Arrogance and Ishvara Bhakti cannot go together. So your study of life of all our Rakshasas, whether it is Ravana or Kamsa or Hiranyakasipu, as money and power comes, arrogance comes, humility goes, next devotion goes. Once humility and devotion goes, Mahatmas will begin to avoid him, because where there is a ego, great people do not go, because God is absent wherever there is ego. Therefore, Mahatmas avoid such an atmosphere. So, this is the problem. On the contrary, if you alert yourself from such a situation and try to have good company, a good friend, Bhartrhari says, Papan Nivarayati योजयते हिताय गुह्यं निगूहति गुणांच प्रकटीकरोति आपद्गतं न च जहाति ददाति काले सन्मित्र लक्षणमिदं प्रवदन्ति सन्तः. Few cultured and refined people you associate with, they will guide me. But in case of this person, Mahatmas go away gradually, sycophants surround him, they will further boost his ego, and they will see that all his culture, manner, politeness goes away. So, we must have read in Purana about Kamsa refused even to get up when Lord Krishna came. So these are the problems. Therefore, glorification, namaskaras, etc. are deadly. And these people, ahankaram, they are egoistic. Balam, they are powerful. They are power hungry. Lot of power. They have darpam, arrogance, kamam, desire, materialistic desires, krodham, full of anger, because they can get away with any form of behavior. Because money and power compensates. Therefore, nobody will criticize me. Nobody will correct me. Atma sambhavitaha. They will be dominating any group. First thing is, they would not allow others to talk. And if they talk about something noble, it is fine. But all their talks are dominated by self-glorification. Atma sambhavitaha means they glorify themselves either directly or indirectly. Self-publicity, stabdaha. Their body will never bend in namaskara to others. Stiff bodies and stiff-necked. Like the persons who got the stiff collar, which is used for spondylitis. These people have got different inner spondylitis called arrogance. It is impossible for them to do namaskara to anyone, including God. Stabdaha. Dhanamana damanvita. Full of madam means arrogance. Madam means pride. The difference between mada and mana, mada is manam. Manam is at thought level. Mada is at action level. Mada is at action level. Manam is at thought level. I consider I am the great. Whereas madam is verbal, action level. All because of dhanam, because of wealth. All because of dhanam, because of wealth. They have these weaknesses. Yajante nama yajnaihi. Nama yajnaihi means pujas for the name's sake. There is no heart in the puja. Dambena, pomp and show. Any ritual, the most important part is Vaidika part, mantra part. You will find that in case of these people, they will miss that. So the priest is given the least importance. Mantras are given the least importance. All social aspect, crucially, when they are going to tie tali, the video fellow will come and say stop. In the most auspicious moment, it is stopped. They don't care for muhurta. So, this is their affair. So, that is why it is called Dambena Ejante. They do these rituals with pomp and show. Avidhi Purvakam, without following any rules and regulations. Without following the scriptural prescriptions. So there is a mantra in which they have to see Dhruva Nakshatram and Arundhati Nakshatram, so that their bond will be strong. Dhruva means strong, faithful. Arundhati Nakshatram is just to remind Vasishtha and Arundhati how they are first made for each other couple. They are the first made for each other couple. So they are shown as an ideal couple. So, and this Dhruva and Arundhati, they see at 12 o'clock noon. How is this? Avidhi Purvakam. And this person does not save time to chant the mantra. So because the other visitors are coming, shaking the hands and giving gifts, and therefore the priest chants all the mantras holding the hand of the bridegroom. All the mantras are what? Oh girl, you should be nice to me. Who should chant? Everything is going false. Priest is chanting this. Therefore, the girl will be nice to the priest, horrible to the husband, horrible to the husband. So, Avidhi Purvakam, violating all the rules and regulations, they follow the Shastra, if at all they follow. 18th Sloka. Ahankaram balam darpam kamam krodhancha samsritaha mamatma paradeheshu pradvishantobhyasuyakaha. Samasritaha, given to anahankaram, given to ahankaram, egoism, balam, power, darpam, arrogance, kamam, desire, cha, krodham, and anger, abhyasuyakaha, these slanders, pradvishantaha, hate me, pradvishantaha mam, hate me, atma paradeheshu, who am in the body of themselves and others. So given to egoism, power, arrogance, desire, anger, these slanders hate me, who is in the body of themselves and others. So all in the refinement in his behavior is the casuality. All the social etiquettes, humility, politeness in the manners, everything goes away because nobody to correct them. He can get away with all those things. Therefore, what all things happen? Ahankaram, full of bloated ego. Balam means power, born out of status. Then Darpam means arrogance. Kamam means desire. Krodha, anger. Samsritaha, all of this will begin to dominate his life. And gradually, this will lead to a Nastika Swabhava. Also because it is unconducive to devotion. And therefore, devotion will gradually get eroded. That is why Hiranyakasipu, Hiranyaksha, etc. said they do not say Om Namo Narayanaya. You chant Hiranyaya Namaha. You chant Hiranyaya Namaha. So, Mam Pradvishantaha. They begin to hate me. And where am I? Atma Paradeheshu. I am in the very life in everyone, including himself, Atmadehe and Paradehecha. I am very much present in their body and also in others' body. I am there occupying his own body and in the bodies of others. He is hating the indweller and he hates the scriptures also. He becomes highly critical to the scriptures. which are supposed to be the gifts from the Lord Himself. So, Abhyasuyakaha means the criticizers, slanders, degraders of the entire Vedika Sampradaya, Vedika culture. 19th sloka. Tanaham vishata kruran samsareshu naradhaman kshipamyajasrama subhan asurishvesha yonishu. Aham kshipami, I throw. Tan dvishataha, those haters. Asubhan, impure. Naradhaman, the lowest among the human beings. Ajasram, perpetually. Asurishu, into Asura wombs. Eva yonishu, samsareshu, which leads to further samsara. I throw those haters of me who are not pious, who are cruel, the lowest among the human beings, perpetually into Asura wombs, which will lead them to further samsara. So thus religious life disappears from them. You can see at home also, traditional homes, you can feel the presence of the Lord. Whether it is the pictures that are hanging on the walls or the puja rooms, all those things you can feel. But you will find nowadays that pictures are secular pictures. They do not want even to show their religion. So therefore, I do not want to go to the details. So religion goes away, religious life goes away, religious practices goes away, and of course spirituality also disappears. Paramatma says, Dvishataha, they dislike all these things. We can see in India also, in modern society that is coming, as I said the other day, they do not want even to put tilakam, because that is again declaring their religion, that I am a devotee, I am a Hindu. Why I feel bad to declare that I am a Vaidika? I heard that this is their kind of feeling. They don't want to declare that they are Hindus. They feel so bad to declare themselves as Vaidikas. This is the situation. If you look at the Sikh religious people, the Sardarjis, they are all over the world. So some of them are in the army also. They fought with the government and said that we'll keep our turban. So they could maintain their religion, their practice, even in the army. So this is the type of behavior one should have towards the culture, towards the practices of scriptures. So if these people continue like this, Paramatma says, I will throw them to Hina Janmas. So I will see that they will not get human life again. They are depromoted to Asuric life, animal life. So I will throw them to Naraka, throw them to all kinds of horrible life. Bhagavan takes avatara to set things right. Paritradaya sadhunam vinasaya cha dushkrutam dharma samstapanardhaya sambhavami yuge yuge. First I try through scriptures and Mahatmas. Hope that the scriptures and Mahatmas will change the society. When the society is so corrupted that even the Mahatmas and scriptures cannot change, I will take avatara and I will annihilate them. This is what we have, and we will continue this in the next class. Om Tat Sat Sarvam Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudatyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.